Okay, so where did we leave off with Magnar? Okay, we're still playing 3.5 Dungeons and Dragons, and already covered the Wyvern scene, which was kind of the most awesome part. And I talked about the Goblet of Fire that I found as an orc barbarian, Magnar the Destroyer. Magnar. And so found that Goblet of Fire, and we built a castle or something. Started introducing ourselves to other settlements as the new group in town that were going. And we tried to deal with a dragon problem, but the dragon didn't take too kindly to us. He also wasn't that upset with us. We had a fighter with us who had a little squirt bottle, and he kept on squirting the dragon, trying to teach it to behave, because he kept on raiding supplies from other settlements. And every time we tried to question a bandit they captured, whenever it tried to give us information, its head would just explode. So we kept on questioning the bandits, and their heads kept on exploding, and we didn't get any XP when their heads exploded, because we weren't the one killing them. They were just sort of dying in our presence from asking too many questions. And I guess this dragon had special powers, and could cause people's heads to explode from far away. So, we found some of the dragon's feces, and it was gold. It was gold feces with gems in it. And I figured, hey, this is probably we can melt this down, and if we melted down the golden feces, as poop, if you don't know what feces are, then we could probably have more gold. So we wanted more gold, so we took the golden feces, and that eventually led to a gyro sphinx attacking us. Yeah, I took all night. We were basically in our realm. The fight started at midnight and went until sunrise. So we fought for gyro sphinx for 6 hours, hitting it with axes and swords and shield dashing it. And also we had a druid with us that shot lightning at it. The druid wasn't that important though. I won't spend much time talking about druids. Eventually, as the Gyro Sphinx was dying, it opened up a portal to Hell, or the Nine Hells, or the 666 layers of the Abyss. And I was an orc barbarian, so I jumped in the portal after it because it had stolen that golden turd, which was still worth a lot of money, and was also trying to take the Goblet of Fire with it. And I jumped into the portal to Hell, and there were all these torsos barbed wired together to make walls. Everything was made out of different or human torsos. It was all human torsos barbed wired together. Was what the walls were made out of. And I'm just going into an orc rage or a barbarian rage. I'm just going around punching every demon I see, or not punching, but axing it. And I'm fighting through Hell, and there's dwarves in Hell, and it's like, yeah, that makes sense. Kill all those dwarves and turn their skulls into new sets of armor. And eventually I got out of Hell, fought my way out. Didn't find the brazier or the golden turd, but what I did realize I could do is I could gouge out one of my eyes and become the new Eye of Grumish. And I started recruiting orcs, and there was a ninja and an underground city and a water elemental, and that was about everything that happened in the first 3.5 adventure. And we used to play once a month for a year, and then we got started on Star Wars RPG. So we're going to be going into that Star Wars RPG, which I got to GM, which is slightly different than DMing, because it's a galaxy instead of a dungeon. It's even worse. And I invited 12 people to see if they wanted to try Star Wars RPG. We had a revised edition originally, but then Saga edition just came out, and Saga edition was great because it had all the rules in one book. And the book was only 300 pages, and it was a square book, and it was color-coded, and it had everything you needed to play. It had monsters and rules. It was the best version with Saga edition. It had Darth Vader on the cover doing his thing, and we basically converted the rules. Since we already did 3 sessions with bad rules, and already made some changes to it, and tried to make it more like 3.5 for Dungeons & Dragons. And Star Wars didn't really start off well, because everyone wanted to be a Jedi, or if you weren't a Jedi, then you weren't going to be that powerful. It's like, yeah, you could be a bounty hunter or something, but if you're not a Jedi, you're just going to be a weaker person in the group. And also, you can't really exactly be Sith if other people are playing as Jedis, because then it would just be PvP combat. And so we started with a dozen people, and they were all Jedis, and since Jedis don't just start off by themselves, they were all Padawans, which meant they all had Jedi Masters, so they were a group of 24 people. Every Jedi had a Jedi Master NPC that was holding their hands. It was just a group of 24 people going on really mundane tasks. 12 Jedi Masters traveling with 12 Padawans, and something happened. Their astrogation charts got all messed up, and they found an undiscovered world that had all these furry people. And we were playing in a nice little Republic campaign setting, so I was just sort of making it up based on what you could find on Wikipedia. And I was hoping I could conquer that world. Or what happened was the one guy who wasn't a Jedi shot one of the aliens that they discovered, or these furry people that were stuck in the medieval time, and he shot one of them. So the Jedis used mind control on him to have him go and wait on the cargo ship they came on, and. And then they just left the planet. It's it doesn't really make sense to be making contact with aliens that haven't been discovered yet. That's not what Jedis do. They're peacekeepers. This isn't exactly Star Trek. We don't go around discovering stuff. We go around civilized areas, making sure that people don't get into too much trouble. And I just started them just on some mundane tasks because we're going to be going into the Mandalorian Wars. And that's what I'll be talking about next, because whatever I can remember next from the Mandalorian Wars. And we basically finished the Mandalorian Wars in Star Wars RPG before we stopped playing, but we were going to be going into the Sith Wars and the Jedi Exile and stuff like that, because I was just having them play through Knights of the Republic, basically, as D&D style, pretty much. And what was funny is not everyone played Knights of the Republic. So when one of the players who played as a droid, T3L8, he was an astromech droid who was also a serial killer, and he killed a lot of children. And he hadn't played Knights of the Republic yet, and through the entire campaign, we played this for 2 years, and they were getting all their orders from Jedi Master Revan. And when he found out that, I don't want to ruin anything if you haven't played Knights of the Republic, because it's still a good game.